So far, we have discussed basic understanding, basic things related to Java. We have discussed features of Java, compilation, execution of a Java program, different type of class loaders in Java, variables and data types and classification of data types. We have also done with environment setup for Java programs execution. Now, before we move further, we will start OOPS concepts. We first have to make a basic understanding with first Java program. In this lecture, we are going to learn the different components of a Java program so that you'll have some idea of a simple Java program, and then when we'll start OOPS concepts, you can easily start implementing them in your Java program. Let's open IDE. With any workspace, you can start any new workspace there, and then you will create a simple new Java project from here. And then I'm saying my first Java project, for example. And then I'm seeing here I'm using JDK level 1.8 and then say next and then say finish. Open perspective for Java development, and you will find here there is a project folder has been created, and in here you will find that JRE system libraries are automatically added to my project, and there is SRC folder has been created here. Now what I need to do, I need to simply create a class because everything will be inside the class. Java is object oriented language, which means everything is going to represent by objects only. Everything will be in the boundaries of class only. So I have to create a class here. I'm going to create a class. Simply click here, class, and I can put any name. Uh, for example, I am saying main class, and then I'll say package name. I always suggest you to use some real time or realistic package name so that it will be easy for you to um, work in a real world environment. So I am using, for example, com dot code with Hiren dot first project project. And if you want to add main method there, you can add it here, or if you'll say finish, it will not create that. So now now you can see I have this main class here, and this is not containing any main method. How to add main method? You need to simply say main and then say control space enter. It is going to create main method for you. To make it more simple, I am using sysout shortcut key. Again, use control space. It will again give me the suggestion. I'll hit enter and then I can say any message here. Hello Java. And then I can say control S every time to save the program. If I use control shift F, it is going to format my code. These shortcuts are really very helpful. These improve your productivity. So I recommend you to use some specific shortcuts which will help you to improve productivity. Okay. Now, this is a basic structure of a Java program, and we are going to discuss all the different components of this Java program. Let's begin with the first line. Here we are having package. The class is automatically placed inside this package because while creating the class, it asked me for the package name. I put the name of package there and it put the class inside this package. If I'll not put any package name there, then by default my class will goes to the default package. What is package and what is default package? We are going to learn the package concept in upcoming classes. So there are few of the things which I can't explain you right away because those are going to come in upcoming classes. Those are somewhere my boundaries. So for right now, you just have to consider them as it is, and then later on we are going to learn them in detail. So very first thing is package, and then after, while we are creating this class, we are having this access modifier. Access modifiers are used to define the scope of class or method. You can see this access modifier is also mentioned with the method name. This is again another concept which we are going to learn in upcoming classes. There are four type of access modifiers: public, private, protected, default. We are going to discuss them one by one in detail. Then we are using class keyword here to create the class. Class is a keyword obviously used to create the class, and then I'm putting the name of the class just next to class keyword. When we are putting the class name or defining the class name, you have to follow some conventions of Java. The very first convention is whatever you are defining the class name, first letter of each word of a class name must be capital. For example, for main class, M capital and class capital, C capital. If your class name is demo of Java, then demo D will be capital, of O will be capital, and Java J will be capital. Like this, you have to define the class name. Why we are doing this? Because we want to improve code readability. If you will look into some existing code, you can easily identify class name by looking at its name. If first letter of each word is capital, that means that is nothing but a class. For variable names also we have naming convention. If you are declaring a variable such as demo of Java, then you can see how I'm defining this variable name. Demo D is small and then after every word first letter is capital. That we call camel case letters. You must have to use this format for declaring the variables in Java class. And if you are declaring a variable which is of final type, then every letter will be capital. You will define something like that. So there are naming conventions for different type of entities in Java. If you are defining class name, you will follow that rule. If you are defining a variable, you will use camel case letters. If you are defining a final variable, then you have to make everything capital case letters. That is first rule for class name definition. Now, the second rule, which is associated again with class name, is your file name and class name must be same. For example, if you are defining a class with the name of main class, then your file name should be the same, main class, so that with the file name itself, anyone can easily recognize that what will be the class inside that file. It will again makes better readability of application. Okay, that's the second rule. The third rule is when you are defining a file, a Java file, inside there you must have to have one class only for every single file. However, you can define multiple classes as well, but it is recommended to have one class in one file. But in case if you want to define multiple classes, then there's another rule associated with class, that is the class which is holding main method must be public. Okay, so if you are having multiple classes in a same Java file, one class will contain main method and that class will be public. And when you run that class is going to execute first, and from that main method only the other classes will be able to access. Now, there are some other rules as well associated with the class name. Those rules are same as we use for variable naming conventions. For example, variable naming conventions we already have discussed, like variable name must not be start with a number. Similarly, class name must not be start with a number. Same name of class within same file is not allowed. Variable name must not contain operator. Variable name must not be a keyword. All rules that you have learned for variable names will be as it is applicable for class name as well. And not even for class name, but when you define method names as well, for them also the rules are same. Method name must not be start from a number. Method name must not contain any operator. Method name must not be a keyword. More than one method with exact same signature within same class is not allowed. So the rules are exactly same. Those rules which we have learned for variable naming conventions are applicable for all user defined entities. Okay, now we are done with class naming conventions and associated rules with the class. In here now I'm using curly braces. You guys already know curly braces are used to represent group of statements, and methods will always place inside the class. Always remember, in Java you can define method inside the class, but you cannot define method inside another method. Okay, now there are two type of classes. One is known as self-executable classes, another is known as non-self-executable classes. Self-executable classes are the classes which contain main method itself. These type of classes can be run independently. For example, if I run this main class, it can run without helping of other class. Other type of classes which are known as non self-executable classes cannot run directly. If you want to run them, you want to use them in some other class, and from there you can trigger them. So we will deal with both type of classes. We will always have one entry point in our project. We will always have one class which contain main method there. Okay. So I'm making this class as of now self-executable, and that's why I place main method inside this class. Now let's talk about how we are declaring the method. This is method, and method consisting of two things. One is signature of method, or this is also known as declaration part of method, and another thing is definition of method. This is the body of method as well. Okay. In declaration, generally we have three things. One is the return type of method, the second is name of method, and third is the parameters of method. These are the fundamentals of any programming. I believe you should know these things. Okay. So um, as of now, I'm using some access modifier in this signature at first place, which is public. And as I already told you, these public, private, protected, these access modifier, this is again another type of access modifier. These access modifiers, we are going to learn them in detail later on. So as of now, you can just let it be like that only. You have to make a main method as public and static. Why we are doing this, we are going to learn them in upcoming classes. Then in main, I'm using return type as void. Void means I don't want to return any value from it, and then I'm defining main method. And then in the parameters, I'm defining formal argument as string type of arguments. These arguments we define for runtime parameters. When we are triggering the application, during the execution of the application, we can pass some runtime arguments as VM arguments to our application. And then those arguments are going to receive here, and then we can use them in our application. How we are going to use them, what will be the advantage of passing them, we are going to use them later. So don't worry about it. As of now, you can also leave it. Okay. Then there's one more important thing which we should know, that is what is main method. Be main is a method which is created by user but called by machine. Main is the only method which is user defined but its name is predefined, means you cannot change the name of it. Okay. And whenever you will start your application, main will automatically get execute. Now inside this main method, I am defining a print statement here. Okay. To print some message there. What is the meaning of System.out.println? System is a class, and inside the system class we have out static data member which is of print stream type. That static data member will initialize by using static block of system class, and then using this out of print stream type we can able to call println method of print stream class, and then we can send any message on console. Now this line, how this is working, I explained you. I know you might not be understand it because it's just beginning. We are going to learn it later. I just want to tell you that initially it's difficult to understand. Okay. Later on we are going to learn it in detail. So as of now, you can let it be like this only. Whenever you need to use println, you will simply write system.out.println. That's it. We will learn it later. Now we are done with almost all the components of Java program. There are few concepts that I skip as of now. We will learn them in detail, so don't worry about them. Now, how to compile your code or run your code? Simply you will right click here and then say run as Java application, and then you will get an output here, hello Java. This is a basic Java program, and I try my best to deliver the main components details of a Java program so that you have at least some level of clarity on Java programs. In upcoming classes, we are going to start OOPS, and then we will start implementing OOPS concept in these Java classes.